Right, welcome back everyone to Invest the Rest. Today we're going to go over the high yield dividend focused account, do a quick little update based on the dividends that were announced earlier this week, and then go over some more of the projection based on the new fund that was added, QDTE, to the portfolio based on the dividends from January. So, as you know, if you watched my last video, added QDTE, a fund by Roundhill, to the portfolio. Was able to purchase 13 shares with the, if I go down here, with the $533.83 that I earned in January. Purchased 13 shares at a cost of $39.92. You know, it has gone up a little since, which is great. We have a little bit of capital gain. And we've already earned some dividends on that fund, $3.01. Now, the projected yield, QDTE does pay 4 times a month. And the projected yield, again, based on 2024 results, as you can see here in the 2024 December table, I did add all of the QDTE distributions. So based on that performance in December of 2024, we can expect a 62% yield in 2025. So a very strong and valuable addition to the portfolio. Before I get too much into this, obviously, as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Research, research, research is the name of the game when using your own money. So like I was saying, I added QDTE to the portfolio, 13 shares, and that raised our December 2024 total projection from $650 a month to $675 a month. So as you can see, yeah, we had to have that $10,000 initial investment, but as this grows month to month, the monthly income can snowball very quickly. So the new goal of this account, even though we didn't meet it in January, because we're not going to hit the goal every single month, right? The January goal was $650. We only received $533 in dividends, but because these funds are so volatile, because they are high risk, but they do have a good upside, we can expect some of that peak and valley type behavior. So we're still going to go off of the December 2024 total and the projection. So we moved from a $650 per month goal to a $675 per month goal with the addition of QDTE. Now, dividends from this past week, we started February off, in my opinion, strong. These don't need to be highlighted anymore because we've already added QDTE to the portfolio. But we did have 2 announcements. Cony, CONY, which is a YieldMax fund, announced on 2/5. We will get paid on 2/7. And they announced a $1 and basically a $1.04, $1.05 dividend per share. So very good performance there. If we compare that to the performance in December of 2024, which is where our projections are based out of, we look at Cony, and Cony paid $1.34, rounding up. So $1.34, it only dropped to $1.05 in February. Obviously, quite a bit better than the payment from Cony in January, which was only 84 cents. So we went from 84 cents to $1.05, which is a very good improvement in my opinion. So we got $78.51 from Cony. We will get that on 2/7. And then also, like I said, I added QDTE to my portfolio, and the first dividend came out a couple days later, also announced on February 5th, and I got 23 cents per share. So a little bit lower on the yield on any given payment, right? Only $3.01. But again, keep in mind, QDTE is going to pay me 4 different times throughout the month of February. And I only own 13 shares, right? That was all I was able to buy based on the dividends I received, reinvesting those dividends from January. So going back up to the main table here, I did add this column header, right? The percent return. I wanted to take a look at the total percent return, but it's not based off of everything that's been invested to date. What I did here, as you can see by the formula, was I based it off of my original $10,000 investment. And I did that because it's important to me when comparing these strategies to compare my return based off of only the money I've put in, right? I'm not too concerned with the money I reinvest, even though that is money that could go into my pocket and I am choosing to reinvest it. That money to me is outside of any initial investment into the account. So far in this account, I've seen a 4.23% return on my money. And that includes, and this is very important, that includes the hypothetical capital loss. Okay, I include both my capital loss gain totals and my dividends earned in my percent return, because I want to know what my percent return is today if I were to liquidate this account. And hypothetically, if I were to liquidate this account, I would lose $192.38 in capital loss, and I would, keep the $615.35 in dividends that have already been deposited into my account. So, overall, 4.23% on that original $10,000. That's very good in my opinion. Not quite up to the 77% goal, of this fund throughout the entire year, right? It's quite a bit lower, right around 50%. If we see this performance for the remaining 11 months of 2025. But I am glad to see, only 3 funds are negative right now, and they're not negative by too much, right? NVDY, again, still negative, trying to recover from that big dip a few days ago. SQY, minus 2.85% return. And then MAXI, Maxi from Simplify, minus 2.29%. One thing I will say about Maxi, December 2024 or December in general, those payments towards the end of the year tend to be a little bit higher. Don't quote me on this, but I believe Maxi paid a pretty significant dividend, $1 or more, the last 3 or 4 months of 2024, right? So we only in January I got a Maxi payment of 14 cents per share. I'm going to go over to my main account dividends, and if you haven't checked out the video on this account, please do. But I want to take a look at the last couple months for Maxi for 2024. So Maxi, obviously in December, paid $1.67. In November, Maxi paid $2 per share. In October of 2024, Maxi paid $1 per share. In September of 2024, Maxi paid again $1 per share. And I think that was the last month. Nope, August, we also saw Maxi paying $1 per share. Up here in July, Maxi again $1 per share. Going to June, let me find Maxi here. Maxi, okay, so right here, this is where we saw Maxi switch from the beginning of the year performance to the end of the year performance. So in June, they paid that 15 cents per share, which is very similar to the payment we got in January. And if I go back to this main dividend and we continue to scroll up, May, right, Maxi, 15 cents, right? April, Maxi, 15 cents per share. Okay, March, Maxi, 15 cents per share. So as far as the beginning of the year and the performance to be expected, Maxi is right on pace to have the same performance as they did last year. It does throw off the total projections on an annual basis because I did base my projections off of December 2024, where Maxi actually paid its largest dividend of 2024. But I do have a lot of confidence in that fund, and I do think they can perform well. And hopefully we see that transition from the 15 cents per share to the $1 or more per share payment earlier than July this year, right? Hopefully we see that in May or April, who knows? So positive outlook. It is a little bit down right now, but once we start getting those bigger dividend payments, Maxi will really head towards the green and be positive for the year. So those are the dividends from last week. Looking forward to next week, I do have, I believe, 5 MSTY, SQY, AMZY, SMCY, and then obviously, because it's a weekly dividend, QDTE again. All 5 of those funds will announce on February 12th. We'll get paid the following Friday, February 14th, and that'll significantly increase the dividends for February this year. So we're down $192 overall. Obviously, PLTY right here, you know, capital gain, $265. Mega capital gain, really keeping the entire account afloat as far as capital loss and capital gain goes. Bought it for $68. It's currently at $86. $265 in capital gains, $98 in dividends earned, 35.6% in the positive. So obviously major front runner, but again, we have all these funds here, and there's a very small likelihood of me picking the exact one that's going to perform like PLTY. That's why I think diversity is very important. If I didn't have all these funds, I may not have had PLTY in my portfolio. If I limited it to the first 4 or the first 5, the account outlook and the account performance to this point would be drastically different. And so that's why I think adding new funds every month with the dividends earned gives me more chances to hit those high performing funds at any given month during the year. So that's my spiel, I'll say, on diversity, portfolio diversity. Obviously, only having that diversity within the strategy of the portfolio, right? I understand that, you know, it's all high yield dividend, all, you know, covered call option trading that's producing this income. So I'm not diversified in strategy. That's by design, but I am diversified in the funds that I have in the underlying stocks that they trade on. And I think that's important when sticking to a single strategy in any given portfolio. So once again, as I'm going to continue to do, we'll go over here to the summary tab, giving away the options account a little bit, up to $850 there. Again, started with $10,000 on January 2nd. That video will come out tomorrow or Saturday once we see the final results of the option trades from last week and this week, whether they get assigned or not. But the dividend account had a nice jump. We're up to $422.97 in total gains, bringing the total gain across all 3 accounts up to $1,601. So we've crested that $1,600 mark, and hopefully the options account and the growth account will continue to add to that with the last trading day of this week. So that's it for the update today. Again, as always, if you found this information valuable, informational, entertaining, throw me a like below. You have any questions or comments in general, throw it down there. I try to respond to all the comments on my videos. And then subscribe. I put out 3-4 videos a week, and it's all in real time, right? What one video says will maybe outdated information in the following week or even the following day if the stock market has big swings in either direction. So you want to take a look at what I'm doing. You're interested in following along. You're interested in learning. You know, make sure you subscribe because you want to see those videos when the information is relevant. So as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.